Aries 19, the magic carpet. The symbolism here is of an ancient Persian story where a magic carpet flies above it all. The whole thing here is that we're raising ourselves into a transcendent state of consciousness. And this is not just an airy-fairy thing that people might be able to do if they are supreme mystics. It's a very available state of being that any of us can attain if we dedicate ourselves a little bit to meditation. The state of transcendence is a normal state of being. It's just not one that you employ when carrying on with your workaday routines. It's dangerous, so we don't do it. But it's only dangerous when we're actually trying to be involved in life. It's very silly to move into this state if you want to cross the road. Very silly indeed, possibly fatal. So when we're quiet and safe and we know that nobody's going to disturb us, we have an understanding that between these hours of the day in this room, we light a candle and we move into our meditative state. If that's known to be the case and we trust that we're secure, then we can allow the mind to relax its grasping quality. You see, the mind is multi-layered. The grasping mind, the monkey mind, that just wants to think about everything and try and analyze and understand with the facility of thinking, that grasping mind can be lulled into a sleeping state by a meditative process of breathing. And when that happens, then we move into a more subtle, almost peripheral sense of having a more subtle mind. And this is not attached to perception. The grasping mind wants to see things the way it expects to see them, and it only sees what it wants to see. We don't have the capacity with this perception of analysis. We don't have the capacity to actually see what's really going on beneath the surface of things. And yet that is the mystic's experience. Let's just consider, for example, the difference between religion and mysticism. Those people who have no understanding of either probably think it's the same thing. You're a God person, so you're doing that, and that is both religion and mysticism together. Well, that's not true. Either you go the religious route and you follow suit. You do what other people have said is the good thing to do. And they've been saying this for a long, long time. And there's a written book on the subject, whether that's the Quran or the Bible or the Quran. You're following the letter of the book, the Torah or whatever, and you're told what to do, and that's religion. And everybody else in your religion understands that that's the proper way to do it. Notwithstanding the fact that nobody does. I haven't actually found anyone yet in my whole life that lives according to the letter of the book, even though the books are held to be sacred. Nobody actually does what's written in the Bible. And partly that's because the paradox of knowing which of two interpretations to give, whereas both this and that are promoted as teachings. It's not a very clear teaching. And these people are religious people. They like to be similar to sheep. They like to be told what to do, and they like to follow a leader, and then they're told they're going to be safe. They don't make any real decisions about the nature of reality. Now, of course, the mystic is exactly the opposite of that. With the one similarity is that both have an approach to God, which is respectful, sacred, perhaps even the dominant force of their lives. That's the only thing really that they share. After you look at the interpretation of how to approach God, you'll find that the mystic and the religionist go in entirely opposite directions. So the magic carpet is clearly a mystic's tool. The relaxing of the grasping mind into a state where we open up the subtle mind and we raise our perceptions above the everyday and ordinary, and we see more. We see beneath the surface of things. We read between the lines. We can see trajectories. That's going in that direction. If I do that, then this will happen. We see more. And because we see more, we can make fewer mistakes. We can make a greater involvement in what's about to happen, because we can see the trend of things. And this is what the mystic is looking to do, to really see deeply the trend of things, to know the dynamic aspect of God and all that is. It's not possible to do that with the power of analysis. Now, any life which is lived on the surface level leaves a hollow feeling, and it displeases the soul. The soul is spirit. It's involved in life. It is life. So any behavior which is not a passionate involvement in life, it is not soul behavior. It's somebody keeping their options open. That's not the way the soul is. It leads to a life which is dispirited and empty of purpose and meaning if we live that way. So we do have to be involved in our lives fully, passionately, always, every moment. Whatever we're doing, that has to be what we yearn to do right now, what we're really enthusiastic and excited about. That's the way to live if you want to be consistent with the soul's purpose on life, in life. The way to become involved in things and not be disappointed, it's really important to avoid disappointment. But the way to do that is to involve yourself in appropriate things. Now, we don't know what may happen in the future. That is unknowable. Even God doesn't know that. But what we do know is what must happen. And if you rise above it all, and you sit on this magic carpet with your subtle mind seeing the flow of direction of things, you can see that I don't know where that's going, but I don't want to go there. I know that's going somewhere that I don't want to be. That's what you can say. But you can say, well, that looks interesting. That's actually very, very attractive, that direction. I'll move in that direction. And that's enough, because you trust, you have faith that when you're moving towards that kind of energy that you love, whatever comes out of it will be great. I remember a time when I was not quite aware of this mystery, and I was looking for a holy well in Cornwall somewhere, and somebody said, oh, you go down there, turn right, turn left, and I just forgot all the instructions, and I came to a choice point where I could go this way into this field of cows that was, boring really, or that way, which was through a leafy collection of trees and pretty bushes and flowers, and it was very, very beautiful. It was mystical. It was like a fairyland. And I was standing there thinking, which of these two roads leads to the holy well? And then I just had this pop of eureka experience, like, it actually doesn't matter. I really want to go this beautiful way. That's what I want to do. So I did that, and of course it led to the holy well. And I think sometimes our confusion in life is really inappropriate, because the only thing that we really have to decide is the next step in life. What are we going to do now? What are we doing now is even better. And the decision is based on what gives you that feeling of enthusiasm to move into it, that excitement that I really want some of that. That I don't feel excited by, but this I do. And if we live like that, then we go to the right place. And that state of being enthusiastic about everything in life, that is almost like the reflection, the answer the comeback when we leave the meditative state. In the state of meditation, we're absolutely detached. We don't care about this or that. We just are perceiving things. We're just trying to see what the case is. Reading a road map. We're just looking at the map, seeing where things go. That's like meditation. And then when we finish that, we come into life, all is changed. We're reinvigorated, we're vital, we're passionately looking to see where our curiosity takes us. And it's a way of living which is entirely enthusiastic. And if our way of life is not entirely enthusiastic, well, fix it. It should be. Joy, enthusiasm, excitement, that's what life is. That's what the soul is.